being here. I know some of you it's very early in the morning or late at night. So once again, I thank you all for being a part of this growing business. And right now, if you're here, I just want you to, pat yourself on the back because you're here for a good reason. This is a amazing opportunity that you've been given, right? And thankfully, I have this big opportunity to kind of explain how line management works in Atomy, right? So many people are confused or they follow a misleading guide to building their lines, but it's actually quite straightforward, right? And so we're gonna go into that and dive a little bit deeper. And so just like this picture we have here, teamwork is the key to building your Atomy business, right? So it's not a big secret at all. We're not hiding the golden goose somewhere in like a locked cage for you to never find, but rather it is out in the open. It's spoken by many leaders, many imperial masters, crown masters, even your own sponsors day in and day out, that teamwork is the key to building your Atomy business, right? And that is how you're going to succeed in this company with your team. Because by yourself, it is just strictly impossible to get far in this business, right? But with teamwork and with your help of your partners, your sponsors, and even your consumers, you're able to rapidly progress in this so-called platform-based business. And so the lineage, right? Here is a picture of the British monarch lineage. So now let me ask you a question. For a monarch, is it good if they have a deep-rooted history and lineage, or if it is a short history and lineage? And the answer is very simple, right? It is to have a deep lineage so that they may continue to have a rich and deep history. But it also gives reassurance to the countries and citizens within that country that it's going to be a stable country when the lineage is passed on from one king to another, right? But if the king's lineage always changes, the people would be worried about the country's future because they don't know what the next king or whoever is going to rule is going to be like. They may be a bad king, they may be a good king. And so the same thing applies to Atomy, right? The deeper your lineage is, the stronger it will be. So it depends on what you do with your lineage. You could either have a strong roots that won't break, or you could have a wide lineage that will shake with just a little breeze. So building a strong lineage is possible because Atomy only allows for 2 lines to be built per person. So you have to go down that line per person. And so here is a little diagram I have here for you in terms of making deep rooted lineages. So our goal should be not a tree with just leaves and shallow roots, but a really deep rooted tree with infinite lines so that we won't ever break, even if the hardest of storms come to us, right? So as you can see in the tree to the very left, it is very big. It looks really big, but on the ground, inside the soil, its roots are tiny. And so if a flood comes, if a tornado comes, that tree will be ripped out of the ground and tossed away. And so imagine yourself as this tree as an atomian. That means that you're only thinking of your own profits or only just the base profit of what Atomy might be, right? If you're only satisfied with making $2,000 a month, right, $3,000 a month, then you should probably go back to being a stable 9 to 5 job, right? Because this, in the beginning, it might not look like anything, right? Just like that tree in the middle. You'll have no rewards, even sometimes no fruit in some months. But as you continue to work hard, continue to put all your efforts into this, your roots will grow deeper and deeper. And then eventually you'll start to see the rewards of your efforts, right? But that is what a lot of people fail to see. They only see the outward things and say, oh, I'm not making that much money. Only $60 a day or only $60 every week. Oh, this is not a business for me. But for those people, they miss the opportunity to see the bigger picture that Atomy has. Because this business is not something you do just to make $2,000 a month. We're here to make $100,000 a month, right? And if you can like reassure me and say that there's another job I can do that also make me $100,000 a month, then please let me know, right? Because I'd like to really know if there's anything like that. But I can guarantee you that there is nothing like that that you can find out in the open market right now. Even if you are a doctor or a lawyer or a technician, the most you can make in a year, not even a month, in a year might be 100,000 or a bit more. But Atomy allows for us to make 100,000 a month in that kind of opportunity. That is amazing. That is something unheard of in any sort of company. And so the deeper our roots are, the stronger we will be. And so that way, even if the hardest of times come, you'll still be able to produce results. So here are some rules that I want you to kind of have to keep for yourself, right? And so in the beginning, many people who first join Atomy think that they have to start looking for people to help. But the best way to grow is to succeed yourself and then afterwards help others once you are successful, right? So you don't have to start looking for people right away to, help grow because you're not even ready, right? How can you help someone when you're still a baby, right? In order for you to help someone, you have to be an adult. And in order for you to do that, you should start applying yourself, studying, learning, right? And so this is all comes with the Atomy's program, the success systems. And so let's say you have a new partner that joined and they live in another city or country. They just started, so it is just not practical to fly all the way to where they are just to help that one partner when they haven't even already started doing any of the business full time or making any money. In the beginning, the amount of money you can spend is limited. So you should look for members that are close to where you live, right? It's just simple as that. Right? It's just silly for us to go all the way to another country if that person is not really 100% all in Atomy and been already working hard. Right? If they started showing results and they're doing things like that, then there is no reason why you shouldn't go there to help them out a bit more. But if they've just started, don't place all your bags and the eggs in that person's basket because that is a quick way to, feel like you've made a big mistake, right? So don't fear. There's always going to be people you'll find near you, and then those people will lead to more people. And so that is how you want to grow your connection. And so from your connections, you should start to look for leaders that can help grow your business. And then slowly grow your lineage through connections. And after you start to move further out into different cities and eventually globally to other countries, right? Because the reason why you want to do this is once you're grown and with your sponsor's help, it'll become easier to grow quickly. But if you start to add people in another country right away, you could face some difficulties as a beginner, right? The same connections, must be signed up in the same, place. That is another big thing that we should also do. So please group your connections together and have them sign up in the same line, right? If they are from the school that you've attended, then make sure they are on the same line. If they are from family members, do not split them up and put them one side left, one side right, just so you can potentially make money. Keep them in the same line. The same with your coworkers or any other people. If they're in the same group, keep them there. The reason why is because people will fight over each other and will cause your groups to break down. right? So there's a sponsor who found someone in Indonesia. So this is a story I heard, and they seemed like great leaders. So they had a lot of potential, these two couples. And so that couple was excited to work. And when the sponsor asked again a month later how they were and how they progressed, they said that they are no longer going to do this business. So what could have happened during that 1 month? Well, it's very simple. What happened was that the couple went to their church to sign people up. And instead of signing people in the same group, they signed them up in different lines, which caused a major issue. And thus, that group can no longer be able to do Atomy because everyone is fighting amongst themselves on where they should be. So you must do both legs, right? Atomy is a binary system, right? So another big thing is to do both legs, build both legs, no matter whether your sponsor says they will do one leg for you or not, because eventually that can work against you. And you will be just hurting your own growth without both lines having your own connections, right? Because even if let's say you have one line the sponsor does for you, and so you're only focusing on one line. And then it comes time for you to challenge for Diamond Master. You have partners on your right leg, but what about on your left leg? The sponsor's partners are not your partners. So if you say, oh, let's go and challenge for it, will they say yes to you? Or would they rather listen to their sponsors? They'd probably listen to their own sponsors than you because you're not really directly related to them. So it's very important for you to have your own people in your own legs because this is all about having two people each on each leg to grow your business, right? Two sales master each, two diamond masters each on each side. And eventually that is how you keep continuing to grow. But if you don't have anyone there, it's just going to be a very difficult time for you in terms of progressing further into Atomy. And so we covered some of the rules that we should keep. How about what are the things that we should watch out for, right? So let's cover some of those. And so do not, make a lineage for those who are just a customer. This will have a negative impact to your business partners and to your own business. So example of this is you have a son or a daughter who you love, so you add them under you and start to make two lines under them because you want them to make money, even though they're not interested in doing the business at all. This will have a significantly negative impact on your partners because you are creating an unfair advantage to those who are working hard, and humans naturally do not like to be in an unfair situation. Once they realize you are only helping your sons, daughters grow quickly, they'll feel like it is a broken system, and no matter how hard they try or they work, they will not be getting a properly good support that they need. And then eventually your lines will go sideways instead of down and cause your business to fail, right? So this is a big, big factor that a lot of people make mistakes of. And I think that many people fall into this trap because they want to help their family. They love their family. Who wouldn't, right? You love your sisters, you love your brothers, you love your sons and daughters. And so you want them to succeed. But that is not the best way to help them in this business, right? If you're doing this, then you're only ruining everyone's opportunity, including your sons and daughters. So please be wary of this. And in the beginning, please consult with your sponsors on where to add your consumers and partners, right? This is a very, very big thing. Always consult with your sponsors as a beginner, right? Because many people think that, oh, I know everything now, and they're just going to add randomly, but that is not how this business works, right? Your sponsors are already successful. Why not already take the information that they've already gone through to apply into your own business? So this person here in this picture was advised to do two lines, but they firmly believed that they had to do a pyramid-like structure because they already did MLM business before. They've had experience before, and so they said, oh, I don't need to follow this guy. He doesn't know anything. And they just went and built their own pyramid just like this, right? This person did not even last 6 months before quitting, right? This person wasn't able to make any partners or loyal customers and ended up, having their business closed. So why does this structure fail, right? The answer to that is that you being at the top, there's a limit to how much you can do for your lines by yourself, because you're supposed to send points down on either of your left or right main lines. But what about those people in between that you've added? You can't focus on any specific one line because each side needs help. Each line needs help because you've added them all, right? So please avoid doing this matrix lineage with you being at the top, going from 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. You will 100% fail this business. This is not a pyramid style business. You're just going linear. It's very simple. 2 legs, only 2 legs, right? And all you have to do is continuously follow 2 legs. It's not always going to be so, cut to the cloth simple like that. Sometimes you have to move your legs according to where your partners are working. But in the very basics of Atomy, it is always going to be a binary system, because in the end, you have to help those legs. And if you suddenly have 8 legs to help, how are you going to help it? You only have limited money, limited time and resource. You can't help them all. So in order for you to maximize your time and money, you have to make sure you're only doing 2 legs. And the one person who wants you to succeed the most is your sponsor, right? Why? Because if the sponsors help you succeed, then they'll also succeed. So they have no reason to lose out on. Right? That is why the sponsors, if they have to be the ones that tend the system as well. These sponsors are the ones that love the products and do the business, not the person who signed you up. Because if they sign you up and they don't care about Atomy, they just sign you up so that, quote unquote, they make money, then that's not a sponsor. The proper sponsor is someone who's been properly integrated into the system, loves the products, does the business, helps support you if you need help or ask when you ask questions. Those are the kind of sponsors that you want to look for. So please be plugged into the system and continuously ask your sponsors questions, because that is what they are there for. And so now I'm going to kind of get into the deeper structures of building lineage, right? So there's going to be a few different pictures and examples. And so I want to kind of break it down on different things that people have done before and how you should avoid and build the proper lines. And so this example is that we are building only one line. So I remember I mentioned earlier that, oh, we have the sponsor saying, oh, you don't have to worry, just, do one leg, I'll do the other, right? And this is where the big problem comes in. So here you are at the very top. Me is yourself, and then you have Mr. Kim as a business partner. And so you tell Mr. Kim he can just work on his right leg, and then you'll focus on his left. And how easy is that, right? No other thing. It's just a linear system then. But does it look easy? And in the beginning, it might seem that way, because you made a promise to Mr. Kim. You also have to keep doing that and add people on his left side. But as you focus on Mr. Kim's left side, you need to start growing your other side, right? Because that side is already pretty big now, right? And so you need to start focusing on your other side so that you can also grow your own business. Now, this person on the left side, Mr. Kim, none of those people are his own partners and members. So he can't do any sponsor activity on that side of that line because he doesn't know anyone. And this person appears with both legs grown, and so that person doesn't even work, but now they are able to get money. So you see here, this is a pig, right? We here in Atomy, we call them pigs, right? This person here in the right beside Mr. Kim is on the left side, is not even doing any work, and he's already starting to get money. And this line will now become a complete mess because Mr. Lee appeared right here. right? Mr. Lee is your partner. He is my partner. He wants to do business. But because the sponsors above him is not working and Mr. Kim is not his sponsor, they will come to me instead. But the problem is I can't help them because I'm already busy growing my own two legs. So you must always keep in mind to do both legs, because whose business is this? This is your business, right? No one else, your own business. And so as here you can see, Mr. Lee came and then he wants to do business, but I can't help him at all. And it's become a very, very tough situation because Mr. Kim won't help him. And then the person who's just becoming a pig won't help him. Then eventually Mr. Lee will leave, and it won't help the person who is at, benefiting from that, or Mr. Kim or myself. So all you're doing is hurting your own business by doing this. So please do not tell your partners that you're going to build one leg for them. This is a binary system. Everyone does their own two legs, right? Don't rely on your sponsors to, you know, put in people or put in points for you. Do your own work, and eventually the people will follow, the sponsors will follow, and that is how it works, right? But if you don't do anything, nothing will come of it. So please make sure you do that. And so there's another example here. So problem with adding members into non-partner lines, right? So what does that mean? So now we have this scenario, and so the customer is someone you know, like your sibling or your child, and they do not work in this business, sir. And you care about them and want them to make money, so you start to add members down their right leg. So you see right there, M2, M3, M4, M5. So then now what would Mr. Kim think? He probably will feel angry, right? If you were Mr. Kim, would you not feel angry or upset? Because Mr. Kim is working hard, doing both legs. He's put some people on his right, he's put some people on his left, but the person right above him doesn't even help him because they're not interested in doing this business, but then they're making money off of Mr. Kim's hard work. And his own sponsors, which are you, instead of building up the people that are actually doing this business, he's focused on building up his family. So in the views of Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee, this is not a fair system, and this will cause the partners to dislike their sponsors, and this lineage will either grow really slowly, or eventually those Mr. Kim and Lee will leave, causing your business to collapse, right? So make sure you start thinking about what kind of things you're doing when you're helping other people that is not going to be doing this business. You're not benefiting anyone by doing that. If you really want to help those customers, then do that after you are really big and rich, right? Once you're Imperial Master, you can help whoever you want, right? While helping your main line. But until then, don't focus on another person's line because you're not helping anyone. You're just wasting your own time and money by doing that. And so what should you do, right? Build your line like this, right? So by adding all your own people under one line, this is how you build a strong, deep-rooted line. Instead of having a messy, all-around line, I've been building straight down, and that is what you want to do. Right? Because in Atomy, you can go to the very bottom to add points because everyone benefits. So it allows for the line to continuously get deeper and deeper if everyone in your group follows this diagram, right? Mr. Kim's going to continue to add more people on his left, which is also your right leg. And then he's also going to add more people on his right. And then that's just going to continuously grow your business. And you're also going to continuously grow Mr. Kim's business in return, because you're creating this strong lineage and deep-rooted body, right? And so in this diagram, now Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee will feel like this is a fair system and will work even harder to grow their lines, right? Because they realize that their sponsor is helping them, their sponsor is supporting them, and so that they feel even more obligated to want to do harder, to work harder because they want to succeed. This is their business. right? And so with a little bit of push, people can work hard. And so next thing is to make a deep rooted line, right? Here's another example. You're working hard, following your lines. And now you have the two new partners, right? Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee. And they come to you and ask you to put people under you because they have no one that they know, right? And so you're like really nice, you're generous. So you're like, okay, I will do that. And so you add Mr. Kim, his person on the right, the M4. And same with Mr. Lee, you add M3, right? But the people I've added are all my own customers and partners, not Mr. Lee's, not Mr. Kim's partners. So in the end, who has to help them, right? Who has to give them sponsor points and things like that when they ask for assistance if they want to do business? You have to be the one to take care of them because it's your partner. It's not Mr. Kim's, it's not Mr. Lee's. You listen to your partner's cries for help, and now you've made yourself an even more headache, right? And you're not helping anyone. At the end of the day, you're just making it very harder for you to succeed in this business. So take care of only one leg because you only have a limited amount of money and resource. Most people who've all done business, we all know that money is important. That's how it works, right? The amount of money you spend equates to expenses, equates to revenue and income. And, if minus your income plus your expenses is what you make, your net profit, right? But if you have more expenses than income, then you're going to be in the negative. So it's very important for us to think like businessmen and women to plan ahead and make sure we're not excessively overspending on things that shouldn't be spent on. So what should you do then? So what should you do? Very simple. We've been talking about it since the very beginning of this seminar. Make deep rooted lines, right? Build it like this image on the right. So you have your main line, Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee's left leg is your main line. So you continue to build that line, no matter what they say, even if they continue to ask you, right? Because that is what you need to do to help them. You're not helping them by adding more people on their right legs, right? In the end, you're just causing everyone to fail. Your sponsors, when they put points into you during a challenge or anything, those are fake points. They're not your own points. So don't rely on those points and those members, right? Take advantage of doing your own business, finding people. There's going to be people that's going to always complain to you, I don't have people, I don't know anyone. But you don't have to know a lot of people to do this business. You just need to know a few, right? Because that's how you multiply. Let's say I only know 5 people, right? I'd say majority of you here know at least 5 people you can contact. Contact those 5 people. Ask them, introduce Atomy to them, right? And then ask those 5 people to introduce you 5 more, right? So we went from 5 people to 25 people additionally, because each person introduces 5 person each to you, right? So that is how this word of mouth connections lineage business works. In the beginning, you only have 5 people by yourself, but you add your aunt. Your aunt knows 5 people at least. They'll introduce you to those 5 people. Now you have 5 more people. And then you have your best friend. Your best friend knows at least 5 people. And then they'll invite 5 more people, right? And you don't have to be shy or worried because we're not introducing them something bad or negative. Because if you think that Atomy is something to be shy or embarrassed about, then you're probably doing the wrong business, right? So invest your time. Please attend these seminars because you will learn a lot, right? We are always talking about something new, always trying to help our members to properly go down the right way so that they can succeed. Because we want everyone here to succeed, everyone here to be millionaires and be at the top. And so I hope everyone learned a little bit of something on how to build line management today. And I just want to thank everyone here for listening and see you all at the top. Thank you so much.